Hey everyone, James Reeves for TFBTV. As usual, we're going to do a little roundup of the best handguns of 2025. I'd say for handguns, we had a strongish year, mainly because I actually had a hard time picking 5, and I still had to cut a couple of solid runners up out. Tell me in the comments what you think I missed, but let's get into number 5. Actually, first, let me talk to you guys about subscribestar.com/TFBTV, where we give away over $2,000 worth of stuff to you every single month for supporting us. We actually just got, of course, like, I'll have to put a picture up. I don't have any of them up here, but we just got new patches. We do limited edition patches. Can't buy them. You can only get them if you're a supporter. We made a run of 200 of our MTV style patch. We first did a run of 100 of those 5 years ago. So there's only 300 in the wild. The only people who are eligible to receive them are people who are on Subscribestar. So think about supporting us, subscribestar.com/TFBTV. I haven't taken any money from any of the manufacturers that I'm mentioning, and I haven't taken any free product or any shit like that. I do this for you guys, and I do it because you support us on subscribestar.com/TFBTV. So think about helping us out. First, the thing I hate about top 5 guns of the year list. When is a gun really released? When it's actually available to buy in the United States, when it's first shown to the public. I don't follow a hard and fast rule. I kind of pick whatever date has the bigger impact, and that's why the number 5 is the OPOS Venator. It's not available for purchase in the US yet, and who knows if it will be next year, but it made a huge splash at EWA 2025 when it was introduced, and it was absolutely the highest profile handgun at the show. It's supposed to be released in Europe. It was supposed to be this fall, any minute now. The Venador was at Austria Arms Handgun Range Day. They had working demo guns there. Myself, Ryan, my Green Beret buddy, you guys have seen him before, Jimmy Cannon. We all got to shoot him. We were really impressed. What is it? Well, kind of like a Laugo Alien, right? Weird, low-bore, non-reciprocating sight, but it gets there in a slightly different way. The Venador uses a rotating barrel that sits down inside the frame with the recoil spring and guide rod above it. So you get an extremely low bore axis, very flat recoil impulse without doing the Alien's kind of gas delayed fixed barrel system. So similar but different. Kind of like the Alien, fixed sight plane so you can run irons or a dot. Doesn't bounce back and forth in your face while the gun's cycling. On top of that, it feeds from modified Beretta 92 pattern 18 round magazines. So in theory, you're going to be able to get pretty cheap mags for these too. There's a goofy kind of smart gun side of it. Not really a fan of it. Opos has this optional, I think they call it like the vision module or something. Drops into the back of the gun, gives you a little digital display with your round count and total rounds through the gun, temperature, battery status, nerd shit like that. Meh. 4,250 euro, if I remember correctly. It's kind of the same neighborhood as the Alien, depending on the exchange rate and the configuration. The Alien was the first guy kind of through the breach with this ultra low reverse bore thing. They proved the concept works, but the Venador is like the second generation version that learned from watching Daddy do it first. You're gonna get an Alien-like shooting experience. You're gonna get some genuinely clever updates, and it completely dominated the conversation at EWA. That's why I'm comfortable calling this one of the top 5 handguns of 2025, even if we can't get one as Americans right now. Sorry. Number 4, always the controversy slot. Trying to decide what's more controversial here, this gun or the gun that I'm going to put at number 3. I think I'm going to go ahead and say that the Sig P211 is the number 4 pick. It's controversial for 2 reasons. Number 1, everyone's mad at Sig right now because even though it seems like no one really knows the truth of exactly what's going on with the Sig P320, the conversation has gotten so out of control that even mainstream media is picking it up. For God's sake, someone literally murdered another person with a P320, blamed it on the gun going off, and everyone believed him for a couple of months. If that isn't controversy, I don't know what is. But the second reason this gun's controversial is because Sig has done everything but call out the Staccato XC by name with this pistol. The P211 clearly geared towards trying to take market share from the highly successful and the otherwise outstanding Staccato XC. Duty size 2011, got a great compensator, optics ready, both guns, But the Sig's got a couple of tricks up its sleeve, and it's also $1,000, over $1,000 cheaper than the Staccato. Sig owns the entire means of production here, so they can flex their muscles like this, take a shot at the 2011 King of the Hill, still turn a profit. The P211 retails at $2,400, which is incredibly inexpensive. The Staccato, I think, is $4,300. It takes cheap Sig P320 magazines, interchangeable G10 grips that are outstanding. This new optics mounting platform, it's compatible with RMR, DPP, or Sig footprints. It uses an in-canal 3D printed muzzle brake that was designed specifically for this gun using computer modeling from Sig's suppressor division. All that to say, it shoots like a house on fire for $2,400. At this price point, 2011 brands should be sweating both above and below the price point. So yeah, I get it. Some of you are done with Sig on principle, fine. Some of you think a $2,400 factory gamer gun is stupid on principle. I agree. I won't be buying one of these. But if you're being honest and you actually shoot this thing and you actually like 2011s, it's really hard to say that this doesn't belong in the top 5 list, because Sig shook up the 2011 market with a Staccato XC that's substantially less expensive. Number 3, also controversial, the KelTec PR57. What's not to like about the PR57? It's the cheapest optics-ready 5.7 pistol on the market today. Yes, cheaper than the optics-ready PSA Rock, but it also doesn't stop there. It's the thinnest and lightest 5.7. For that matter, it's thinner and lighter than the subcompact single-stack Glock 43. The KelTec, less than an inch thick, about 14 ounces in weight, less than 1 pound. That's insane. KelTec accomplished this by, as you see here, using an internal 20-round magazine instead of a detachable box mag, which helps keep the weight and thickness drastically lower. A bunch of people who saw this gun at SHOT Show, I can't believe it. We're all John Wick, and if we can't reload a gun and get a shot on target in the A zone in less than 1.25 seconds, then it's a piece of shit. Never mind that you won't find more than one civilian defensive gun use out there where anyone had to reload, and you definitely won't find one where a dude went empty with 21 rounds and needed more, which is how much this gun holds, 21 rounds. And if you do need to reload, you can do it with a stripper clip, and I would say you could probably get 10 or 20 rounds from stripper clips into this gun faster than you can stuff 6 or 7 rounds into a revolver. I said, what's not to like? Well, here's what's not to like. Typical KelTec fit and finish. George Kelgren, genius, very thoughtful, kind person. He has told me face to face, KelTec builds their guns economically because they want them to be affordable to everyone. Really, I see very little difference between KelTec and B&T other than the fact that one of them uses high-end Swiss manufacturing and materials and doesn't sell guns for less than $2,000, while the other, I'll let you guess which one is which, uses Middle Florida bath salt men to assemble pistols made from melted down car batteries and wood screws to sell this gun for under $400. So yeah, KelTec's guns generally a little rough around the edges, but you're getting a super lightweight, ultra thin, optics ready 5.7, 20 rounds on board, 21 rounds for a price that starts with a 3. And it is number 3. All right, getting ready to take my licking here. Number 2, gonna piss a lot of you off for 2 reasons. The Glock COA. Before we talk about how mad you are and why, let's talk about what this is. The Glock COA basically takes several existing Glock models, gives them Glock's proprietary COA optic cut, which may be the sturdiest factory pistol optic mounting system out there because the optic actually dovetails into the slide instead of just sitting on top of a plate held in by 2 tiny screws. Leagues beyond the Glock MOS series, which stumbled out of the gate with a plate system, screws weaker than a gun tuber pickup line. With the COA, you finally get that proper mounting pattern. You also get Aimpoint's COA optic, basically the same width at the slide, remarkably thin. It's tough, has great battery life, and it gives you an acro-sized window in a much more compact package than the acro. All this, and I've seen some of these sell for like under $900. That's an insane deal for a top-tier duty pistol with a top-tier optic already installed and zeroed and good to go. It's no surprise that they sold out pretty much instantly. Then the rumors start. Glock landed a massive government contract for these guns, which supposedly meant that civilian guns were going to be temporarily discontinued. And it seems like that may have been true. Then, as I talked about in a longer video on my personal channel, that's youtube.com/JamesReeves, Glock ends up discontinuing every current Glock model, and the COA guns are just gone. Legal pressure, liability concerns pushed Glock basically into a reset, but I bet the COA is going to come back. It's a shame because I got a Glock 45 COA in for review around the middle of the year, performed nearly as well for me as some of the mid-tier 2011s that I shot and reviewed this year. Some of you are mad because James Reeves, known Glock shill, has basically put a Glock with an optic, that's it, it's just Glock with an optic, at number 2 on this list. Quick note, Glock periodically sponsors TFBTV, not me. I get paid to make videos by TFB. I do get to veto sponsors. I don't know what a sponsorship costs for TFBTV. I'm fine with Glock. James, Glock sucker memes aside, the COA series, legitimately one of the best handgun releases of the year, possibly my favorite, but you guys would lose your minds if I made this number 1. So before I get to number 1, good moment to reflect. Like I said at the beginning, a lot of guns that were worthy of being in the top 5 this year, like they were all kind of equivalent, but when I look at the overall strength of this list, I'm not sure 2025 stacks up to previous years. Like for example, 2024, some of the TFBTV writers, the guys in the TFBTV Discord said, I should pick the Ruger RXM. Well, that came out last year. Same with the HKCC9, 2 great guns, and those are just off the top of my head, that came out last year. With the exception of the Kel-Tec, maybe the Venador, everything in this list are kind of existing designs, including our number 1, the CZ Shadow 2 carry. If you've ever shot the standard match Shadow 2, you already know why this thing's on the list. The Shadow 2, one of the best shooting production pistols ever made. The problem is that a full-size Shadow 2 is a boat anchor made for competition. Shadow 2 carry takes that same idea, shrinks it into something you could realistically carry every single day without needing a chiropractor. You get the same CZ75 lineage with a heavy but smooth double action, really nice 4 and change single action trigger, keeps that Shadow grip panel and geometry. The frame, 7075 aluminum. It's going to be reliable as hell. Gun comes in at about 30 ounces, still not very light, but it's not a kettlebell either. 15+1 capacity, optics ready from the factory, RMSC pattern dot, so you can slap a 507K on it, still have usable irons, and use it for IPSC or overpass hobo self-defense. What I like about this gun is how little compromise there was. Make no mistake, got a great trigger on it, not nearly as good as the match guns, mainly because the carry adds a firing pin block for safety, but this gun still shoots. Most of the time when you hear competition DNA carry gun, it translates to we ruined a great match gun and it's still too big for carry anyways. The Shadow 2 carry mostly delivers on the marketing line of born from sport, tailored for EDC. I think that's what their line was for this. I don't carry mine very often, still a bit of a hog. It's smallish, it shoots flat, plus it gives you a trigger and ergos that crush most of the striker guns on the market. MSRP around 14 and a half, I wanna say. And yeah, that's a lot of money, but it's still cheaper than a lot of the 2011s out there. And you're still almost getting like a compact race gun. Is this gun brand new from the ground up? No. It's an evolution of a very well-loved competition line. And it's CZ also listening to their customers. They asked for this. It's an outstanding pistol. It was my favorite this year. You guys are my favorite this year and every year. Coming up, SHOT Show 2026, that's going to be 11 years of TFBTV because we started on my birthday at SHOT Show 2015. Been a long ride. Glad you're still here with me. See you at SHOT Show.